We need to talk about the reverse engineering program. The documents you're going to find in this video have been provided to us by the DoD, Department of Defense of the United States of America, and also a company called ATIP. The information in these files are literally mind-bending, so you're going to need to pay extremely close attention, but they represent some of the stuff talked about in Dr. Greer's hearing. Take a listen.
And this is the big story. No one's telling you. A large number of the UAPs are in fact based on the study of extraterrestrial vehicles that began in the 1940s.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program.
The information we've been able to decipher off of these crafts is literally astonishing. We're talking like Harry Potter, quantum physics, Michael Bay kind of stuff. Take a look.
This is just an indication of a type of electromagnetic system that actually can cloak any tank or any object that we've developed over the years, and he was read into this as well.
No? Invisibility ain't cool enough for you? Okay, what about transferable wormholes?
So he was involved with this operation. It was a man-made, so-called alien reproduction vehicle that involved the science of quantum entanglement. Say this is one point, this is another. You're not going through a straight line, you're folding space-time. That's how you're doing. And we're not going to do a physics lesson here, you know.
Yeah, and if you've ever wondered about, why we can't go visit Antarctica, it's really not because it's a flat Earth, but more so because of this technology right here.
In 2010, I was selected to go down to the South Pole Station in Antarctica for an entire year by Raytheon Polar Services as an employee of a third-party contractor for the National Science Foundation. I function in a dual-role capacity as a tradesman and a firefighter. My responsibilities required me to be more informed than most of my crew and offered me complete access to the facilities. I have provided documentation that proves that the 5,160, what they call DOMs, that are embedded in the ice can actually transmit at 2,047 volts each. That gives us a long list of things to consider. It is effectively a multifaceted directed energy weapons platform that I will list rapidly a few things that it can do. Vehicle detection. We're learning that these off-world craft, on-world craft, ours or other nations, are also emitting neutrinos. So this makes the South Pole Station effectively an air traffic control station for this new level of equipment that nobody's discussing. In addition to the ability to detect neutrinos and the exotic vehicles, I have provided documentation that shows that this is also a system for faster-than-light communications. In the past, Gary McKinnon has hacked NASA, found the off-world fleet, the list of captains, and it's apparent that if we have faster-than-light vehicles moving throughout this system, we're going to need faster-than-light communications. This is that facility. The season that I was there, 2010 to 2011, we converted from construction to operations and maintenance in both the elevated station and the detector array. Unfortunately, when they first fired it up, that was when we had the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand. There's 2 incidental shots before they were able to target it correctly. This is an earthquake-generating device as well. This is the weapons of war that we have to deal with now and what Raytheon's hiding. The Atmospheric Research Observatory is in what we call the clean air sector. I witnessed myself a very powerful green laser shooting out of the top of this facility into the cosmos. This, I believe, is a secondary form of long-range communications and or a defense system. I am not saying that we need to be scared of anything that's out there, but please understand the military-industrial complex is happy to invest all of your money in alleviating their fears.
This is just a small portion of the information dropped in this 3-hour-long hearing. I highly suggest if this was interesting, you need to go watch the entire thing yourself and pick up on all the fine details. But listen to what Dr. Stephen Greer has to say to finish out this entire hearing.
We won't have time to go into this in depth. I just want to mention, I want to be extremely careful what I'm about to say, because it will be misconstrued by various folks out there. There are civilizations extremely advanced that are concerned with what we're doing. This station at the South Pole is a much later version of a man that I worked with for a number of years in the 90s who invented the neutrino light detector system on the satellites up in space. He knew then that these were being used, and this was in the 70s, to track, target, and destroy extraterrestrial assets in space and also around the Earth. Now, these civilizations, given their extremely advanced state, had they wished to punch back, they would have. However, they are inordinately peaceful, they are organized in a group, and we need to come forward as a people instead of looking at everything as a military threat and see that there's an opportunity here and there has to be diplomacy and science and disclosure of the truth in order to avoid a catastrophe. My understanding is the technologies that are in these covert programs have become so advanced that at some point they could be a threat to these other worlds. As such, it puts our entire planet at risk because of the unchecked power and technology of the illegal secret government projects. This is a much graver national security threat than China, Russia, Iran, or anything the news media is currently covering. Please write your members of Congress. We live in a democracy still. You should write to your 2 senators and your representative and the President of the United States expressing your concern and calling for open hearings. We need to network with our friends and families and get them to support this effort.